Hi, thanks again for tuning in to the Barefoot Deacon. We are filming right now from a beautiful park in the middle of the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. And I have recently been working with the parable of the sower, which is a parable that Jesus taught when he was talking about how some people receive his ministry and some people don't. And so it goes a little something like this. A sower was spreading seed, and some of it fell on a hard path and it didn't take root, so the birds came and ate it up. Some of the seeds fell on rocky ground and couldn't put down roots. Some of it fell in the weeds and the thorns, and then some of it fell on good soil and produced a good crop of whatever the seed was. So there's a lot of people, when I've heard this parable preached many times, and it usually is related to being better soil. Like, could we be better soil so that we could be more fruitful and productive and receive the message of Jesus better? But when you think about it, soil doesn't change itself. It doesn't compost itself. It doesn't water itself. It doesn't move seeds from one area to another. I think it's more about grace. Like, grace is just spread freely everywhere, even in impractical places. So if you've heard the message of Jesus, but you're like too busy and distracted to receive it, or you don't know much about it and it hasn't really taken root, I just want to point out the fact that right now, right next to me, there's this darling little plant that's growing out of a rock. And on the other side of me, there's a pine tree growing out of a rock. And then I think about all the people who have faith in spite of some of the worst circumstances. Like, maybe they grew up in a household of abuse or addiction or neglect or any kind of thing, but like one little seed planted by one person could be all it takes for them to put down some roots and grow in faith. And you might be the person that plants that seed in their life. And you can do that with anybody in your life. The cashier at the grocery store, your best friend, one of your coworkers. You might be the one who brings the message. So I hope you'll think about faith, how you got it, how other people might get it, and whether or not you could share it with them. You could be the sower. You could be the one spreading the seed. You could be the one growing faith in the toughest of circumstances, because I know you can. We have examples of people who have done it. And it could be you. You could be the next one. So thanks again for tuning in, and I hope you'll listen just a few seconds to the rustling of the trees and the wind and the cool breeze, because this, to me, is what brings me faith and what helps me grow roots.